You have strange dreams tonight. A familiar voice beckons you to your window. There are stairs leading into the night sky. Hey, wait a second. Hold on. We're getting a little far ahead of ourselves here. Let's wind this back a little bit. And welcome back to Let's Play Look Outside. Been a while since the 2.0 update has dropped. It was a little surprise that Frankie had prepared for us on Halloween, polished up a couple weeks later, and now I'm finally getting around to it. Yeah, a bit striking while the iron is cold, definitely. I apologize. I have multiple projects I'm working on, plus I'm lazy, plus I'm easily distracted, plus sometimes I'm just tired. But there is going to be a whole load of new things for us to see. Don't expect this to just be a repetitive session like it was last time, where there was only a handful of new bits of content to go through, because the entire game has been essentially reworked at this point. First off, the difficulties have been renamed. Easy is now Explorer mode. Still a challenge, but more forgiving. Game autosaves as you explore, and you can save anytime, anywhere. Boring. Survivor mode, of course, is our standard normal mode. Once again, the full survival horror experience. Resources are more scarce and battles are more fierce. A little enticing, but I'm noticing this one in the red text. Intended for those who played before and want an extra challenge. Not recommended for your first playthrough. I think that would just be delightful. Yes, the game now has a proper hard mode, cursed mode, and it is a doozy. Don't expect to cruise through this even if you've beaten the game on survivor mode multiple times. I've done multiple playthroughs of this mode myself to make sure that I have good strategies to get through it, and I believe I have some that should allow us to accomplish everything that I want to with minimal luck. Granted, if I get good luck, it'll be all the more effective, but I have accounted for certain problems cropping up along the way. Are you sure you want to play on Cursed mode? It is not intended as a first-time experience. The tone is different, and the difficulty is unfair. Hey, hurt me plenty. Now, let's get back to it properly. You have strange dreams tonight. A familiar voice beckons you to your window. There are stairs leading into the night sky. You awaken just as you begin to ascend them. You have an urge to look outside your window. With the establishment reaffirmed, we are just once again going to wait around for Sybil to poke her eye through the eye hole, and then continue on as normal. Now, there are plenty of new dialogue scenes in this update, as well as just new areas in general. However, Sybil's dialogue is mostly unchanged. Mostly, though. One thing to note when we start out here, and we have our initial conversation with Sybil, is that a new option has been added, or rather, a new thing you can do here. I forget if this dialogue choice was here originally, but you can tell Sybil to just buzz off, and she will do so for the remainder of the game. If you do so, Sybil will no longer pop in to let you save your progress. On Explorer mode, you still have the game's auto-saving system, but in survival and curse mode, you will only get one opportunity at the beginning to save your game, mostly just to make sure you don't have to redo the beginning every single time. A new achievement has been added for beating the game without saving at Sybil, though you don't strictly have to tell her to buzz off if you don't want to. What's going on outside? Well, it's the same old, same old. Okay, sure. Before you go, we are Sam, of course. Nice to meet you, Sam. Once again, we're just going to be doing the standard routine of talking to our plant and watering our plant. Now, sadly, bringing your plant into the light still has nothing, it doesn't accomplish anything directly. That is still a dead end as of the most current version of the game. However, if you don't take it out to the light when prompted to do so, you do get some alternate dialogue, so I want to take a look at that once we get to that point in the plant talking side quest. Obviously, we are going to check our rent real quick, or grab our rent real quick, which, well, we actually are going to be giving most of our money to Mr. Henderson in this playthrough. Money is going to be a bit of a big deal. Picking up Screamatorium, just for the sake of filling out my game shelf, I don't really plan to play it. Of course, we also want to grab the first aid kit in our bathroom. Funnily enough, showering still does not cost any time, and we're going to be on a bit of a time crunch, so I appreciate that showering does not cost any time. We want to make sure our hygiene is already at a high value before striking out, because if we become smelly while I'm exploring, that would be problematic for several reasons on Cursed mode. Alright, now, before we head out, we are instead going to, just mess around a little bit and play Super Jump Lad. I would love to get Joel in the party before finishing it. It feels proper to beat this game with him, but we really do need Jump Attack as well as the additional, experience we get from it. Just finishing Super Jump Lad will be enough to get us our first level up, and we're going to want every level up we can get in Cursed mode. That is actually very fortuitous. We have somebody knocking at the door already. Let's see what my luck is here and what we get. If we're really lucky, Dan or Helen could show up and we could get a party member. We've got the food trader over here, or no, the jump trader. I am just going to tell them to please leave. I don't have really any money, and I don't have anything to sell. The woman ponderously turns around and then shuffles off down the hallway. So, we're just going to tell her to buzz off. If you want to, one strategy you can have to make the early game a bit easier is to just constantly restart until you get a good door encounter like Dan or Helen. Having help right at the starting gun for Cursed mode really helps out. The reason why I'm recommending that specifically is because if we want to set up our file to get every single ending in the game, we need to be moving fast. We want to get to the parking garage no later than day 6. The earliest we can reach it, and there is actually an earliest point where we, if we reach it earlier than that point, it actually won't benefit us at all, but we want to reach it by day 5 at the earliest, day 6 at the latest, day 7 is too late, so we need to be moving fast. Fortunately, I've cleaned up my route to make sure that we can get there with plenty of time to spare. First thing I'd like to point out is the frozen apartment over here. The door is covered in thick ice that will not move. You can now get through this without an herbicide. In fact, an herbicide can never be used on this. If you have a Molotov, gasoline, or if you've made ice salt or just found ice salt, you can use that to get into the frozen apartment. Cool little change, makes it stand out a little bit more. Here we've got our planter with, once again, our missing spare key. I just want to draw attention to this because I have actually found the spare key in the planter before. I'm not sure what determines if you get that. Now, one thing to note that's immediately noticeable as different is that the area has already updated. The floor 3 hallway is already updated to have Vincent's apartment open and the enemies by the stairwell. And there is a very particular reason for this. We do not want to fight the wounded neighbor right away. And if I can help it, I actually want to avoid fighting any of these enemies. I would like to leave them alive for later. We are going to be moving in a very, very specific route here because there is a new door available to us. As of the 1.5 update, oh, I got into a fight with this guy. Fortunately, we're just able to run away because he starts so far away. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually a change here. You'll notice that guy moved it, or mutated a lot more quickly. Enemies that can mutate will do so faster, and there are higher tier mutations that they can ascend to. We're going to grab the spare key right here, not going to use it on the safe. Once again, we're going to run away. This is, again, something I'm not sure if is actually a thing. It seems like you're less likely to run away on the first 2 attempts at escaping a battle. I'm not sure if that is actually the case, but you're still guaranteed to run away when the 3rd chance comes around, so you're not completely hosed in that regard. But yeah, we're not checking out the wounded neighbor right away. This is Vincent's place, once again. We want to grab everything that isn't nailed down, as always. The items in Vincent's apartment have changed around a little bit due to the updates, but one that isn't specific to Cursed mode is that you'll notice the crafting kit is no longer on his table. Where did it go? That makes me a little concerned. Obviously, we are going to pilfer everything in Vincent's apartment. The thing I'm trying to do here is to get enough on the danger track to get us an opportunity to save our game. Saving has been nerfed in Cursed mode. You can no longer do it with just one big dot on the danger track. You do need to get to the 2nd big dot in order to save your progress. Let's just grab everything in here. Wizard's Hell going to be very, very important for our purposes in this playthrough, and I will actually be playing that as soon as an opportunity to do so approaches. make our way in here. Better remember to equip our baseball bat. Could also use the golf club at this point. Going to grab the money in here as well as the glasses. And we are going to equip those glasses. Make sure we're not missing. Our luck is so low at this point. We essentially have no crit rate to begin with. We're going to leave Cinnamon here. We will come back for him later. Grab the chocolate bar over here. Step into the bathroom. And once again, the gazer is here, but you'll notice that the crafting kit is right past him. Hey, we're actually able to grab it no problem. Now, the gazer here, or the gawker rather, I'm calling him the gazer, but he's the gawker. If you run away from the battle, Sam will instead automatically beeline for the exit to the bathroom, thus denying you the opportunity to actually, grab the crafting kit if you did not already do so. Stepping into the wounded neighbor's room, I'm going to grab that tonic right there. Don't want to get too close to him in case I accidentally interact with him. And now that we have enough points on the danger track to save our progress, I am going to do so. So let's head back into our apartment. We set the crafting kit down. We're not going to craft anything just this second. The danger was strangely thrilling, and I am going to save my progress here. I have some potential spoilers in my save files, so I am just going to cut ahead real quick. Indeed I do, indeed I do. I have some save files that I plan to use later in the LP that I want to make sure I don't overwrite, so I'm saving from the top of the list. So, the danger track's a little buggy there. But the reason I was messing around and I want to save there is because I'm going to go into a new section of Vince's apartment. You may remember that door in the far left corner, or the northwest corner of Vince's apartment previously was just never could you do anything with it. It was just for flavor. But now you can open it with simple keys or the lockpicks. Heading in here, we've got a bunch of very, very dangerous enemies in here. Another Cursed Mode addition is that there are 3 enemies in here, although I'm not sure which one of these is Cursed Mode exclusive. And when I say Cursed Mode exclusive, I mean that in 2 ways. It's Cursed Mode exclusive in the sense that they only appear properly on the field in Cursed Mode, and Cursed Mode exclusive in the sense that they only appear in Cursed Mode, period. There are a number of new, very, very dangerous enemies in Cursed Mode, but the reason I wanted to make my way in here was to get the clogs and the machete. Those will be very, very helpful for winning our battle against the wounded neighbor in this version. So, or this difficulty, rather. So this is the strategy I like to use for beating the wounded neighbor, is going into the locked room in Vincent's apartment, getting the clogs and the machete to make sure that we are very powerful. Another strategy you can do is play Super Jump Lad and play Mad Wheels, and by using Nitro Boost and Jump Attack, you should be able to deal enough damage in this fight to win it before it gets too dangerous. Why am I acting like the tutorial battle is such a threatening thing? You'll see in due time. For right now, one of your neighbors is here. You've seen him before, but you don't know his name. He looks wounded. What will you do? Hey, I don't want any trouble, pal. Trouble. Yes, trouble. Wanna see? Wanna see? I saw it. Did you? The man clumsily conceals something behind his back. Blood trickles down his shirt. And, of course, he's brandishing his knife. Now, even though we have a machete, when he does drop that knife, we are absolutely going to want to take it from him. Blades are going to be incredibly valuable for us in this playthrough. Hey, give me that knife. Get your own. I need it. Oh, everybody is so picky. Anyways, attack the wounded neighbor again. He goes for his attack. I will help you see. You just need a little help. The man's wounds bulge and throb as he staggers closer, and the classic scene that we get to see once again. See? Haha. Anyway, we will hit him and, of course, secure our victory here. The giant eyeball squirms inside the man's open wound. There we go. Easy peasy. What the? Huh? This didn't happen before. Say hello to a new boss battle, the Leering Husk. Yes, the wounded neighbor transforms into the Leering Husk after enough damage is dealt to him, and the Leering Husk is a pretty serious encounter. What we're going to do is use Hack and Slash to deal 3 instances of damage and inflict some bleed on him. If we're really lucky, we could score a crit and finish him off in a single usage of Hack and Slash. When the eyes close, much like attacking while the tail is up, he won't quite counter with a laser, but he will counterattack, so we'll use the opportunity to guard instead. And with all the damage I did on the first Hack and Slash, we should be able to just finish him off with a jump attack. There we go. Very nasty surprise if you're not prepared for it. Sam is now level 3. Once again, we will take our knife. DOT effects are going to be crucial in Cursed mode. As you can imagine from a standard RPG hard mode, enemies hit harder and have more HP. Since enemies have more HP, DOT effects are that much stronger. Now, we saw the eyeball there, and once again, that doesn't really, we can't really interact with that. Look at the TV now, though. Okay. Just keep the TV in mind for later. There is something that we can actually do with it. Now, I'm not going to return to the apartment to cook right away. We actually, once again, need to have take a very specific route to make sure we get enough danger to actually save our progress. Let's use this padlock key here, get into the stairwell. Like I said, I want to leave as many enemies alive as possible so that I can come back and kill them to a very specific end. Moving down the stairwell once again, we are going to want to pick up the pool cue, and we're going to want to immediately equip it, as it will be very important for something coming up very soon. You may think that it's a silly thing to equip because the machete is just flatly stronger, but the pool cue has some very, very good value in some fights that you don't really need to worry about in normal mode. Looking at it makes your stomach turn. The head burst open like a pumpkin. There's a note by the body. Nothing new about the note there, but keep an eye on that body. Before, it was just a little bit of set dressing, but, well, maybe I shouldn't get ahead of myself here. Anyways, with that taken care of, let's get on the floor 2 here. It's now the evening. Let us talk to Aster over here. I want you to take a good note of the, astronomers here. I'm researching our astral predicament. Perhaps you could help. Well, now, one thing to note about the astronomers here is that you actually have to give offerings to each one of them. You cannot no longer give them all to Jasper. Each astronomer will accept the specific offering that they are looking for. If you remember, Aster is looking for a photograph. Only Aster will take the photographs. There are some other things to note about Aster here. Once again, we can offer to help out and get a hint on what he's looking for. We can ask some questions again. And let me see here. Research. I'm looking for something in particular. About joining you. Speak to my colleague Jasper. Astronomy is dangerous work. You understand. Besides, we must ensure you meet our rigorous credentials. Now, it is very, very important that you actually activate that dialogue. As of version 2.0, this initiates a little mini-quest, and Aster is the end result of that quest point after we talk to all of the astronomers and get to know them. Let me see here. What's with the robes? Outside light seems to burn. Let's see. Have you looked outside? Let me see. What is happening outside is an object passing through our solar system, an extraterrestrial phenomena of sorts. Of this much I am certain. Any more? I could not hazard a guess. We simply don't know yet. Looking at it, even indirectly, causes grave danger, grave changes in living things. Even looking at a reflection wraps a person. We want to ask something very specific to him. How big is it? Seems to be quite enormous. It was large enough to block out the light from a star. This is how we initially observed it, in fact. What would you like to know? Okay, that was not the right thing that we wanted to ask him. It sounds so unreal. Yes, this entire ordeal has been quite the nightmare. What would you like to know? Once again, that is not the question I wanted to ask him. What kind of object is it? We've theorized many things. It could be a rare natural phenomenon in space, or some sort of alien technology. And indeed, it could be a living organism of some kind. Something living? Yes, Jasper is of that opinion. That is something we could communicate with. Now, if you follow this line of questioning to the end, a new option has come up. Maybe we can kill it. You can now field the idea of killing the visitor to every single astronomer, and if you do so, we actually do unlock an alternate option in the ending scene, provided we get a perfect ritual. Now, I'm not going to ask this to everyone on this particular save file, but I am going to suggest it to 3 of them, and then save the opportunity to suggest it to the last astronomer when the time becomes relevant. For right now, though, it doesn't hurt us to suggest killing it. Kill it? I think you underestimate the gravity of the situation. And indeed, I don't really think trying to kill the visitor would really work out, but whatever. Oh, is someone at the door? Come in, I need help. Once again, Jean does not have anything new to say. but we will advance the dialogue. Not that we need to in order to advance her quest at all. If you get to the point where she fully transforms, the game does just assume you've seen the earlier scenes in the quest line. Something we are going to check out, though, that is actually new to this particular update. Not the items that I'm pilfering right now, but if we go over to the bathroom, previously you could not explore Jean's bathroom until she mutated. Now we can, and there is some soap in here, there is a medicine cabinet, and there is a roach. By going into Jean's apartment bathroom, we can actually initiate the roach side quest right away. And if you notice, we now have enough on our danger track in order to save our game. And once again, I really want to save here, partially for demonstration purposes, and partially because we have an RNG-based segment coming up. We're running into these enemies here, but once again, I want to actually leave them alive. As they begin to mutate, that gives us an opportunity to just escape them. Feel a little bit itchy because of our hitchhiker here, but he will be out of here. I really have to remember to actually leave out some food during the evening. Alrighty, so what we're going to do to start things off is we are going to cook ourselves a quick meal. I'm just going to make the TV dinner. We want to make something that will restore our stamina an adequate amount, and the TV dinner should do just fine. Eat the TV dinner, get back 18 stamina. We want to make sure that we have full stamina here. Because of the 2 level ups we got 24 stamina. Very, very important that we have that specific threshold. We're also going to use our whiskey to make a Molotov cocktail. I only have 1 cloth to work with here, so I'm only going to have 1 Molotov, of course. And once again, I'm going to save my progress, and I'm going to cut back to floor 2 so we can get into another new section in Cursed mode. As you probably surmised, the new Cursed mode content is relevant to the Grinning Beast this time. Now, to start things off, we're going to run away. Just let Lay burst on through. And once again, we've got our relatively simple escape sequence here. We just have to make sure we don't run into any of the holes in the floor, costing us some speed. And if we keep on moving on... Whoa, hey, what the... That hand there is new. Oh god, what? We couldn't just escape, we had to go through that door? Oh god, she's getting... Oh no, this is bad. Move, Sam, oh no, oh goodness gracious. I hope no more hands show up. This is not good, Jean, open the door, Jean, please open the door, Jean, open the door, Jean, I swear to god, please open your door, Jean, ah! It's you. You freaked me out a little. Why were you banging on the door like that? You nearly tore it down. I didn't lock it. You're not losing your mind, are you? I don't think. Huh. Hey! There's no gun, either. Curious. That's very odd. But we don't actually want to do that. Let's reload our save real quick. Obviously, missing out on Lay would deny us such a valuable party member, so we are actually going to fight the Grinning Beast. On Cursed mode, this is a luck-based battle. At the very least, taking it on without just grinding out video games and waiting for somebody to show up as a party member makes this a luck-based battle, and we're in a hurry, so we have to deal with the luck-based variant of this fight. There are 3 potential RNG checks we have to clear here. If I clear either one of the first 2, we win this fight guaranteed. If it goes to the 3rd RNG check and I pass it, there is a good chance we will win the fight. If I fail all 3, then we definitely lose. We want to use Impale with the pool cue. This is a piercing attack that deals huge damage to the Grinning Beast, and it has a chance to insta-kill. If either of the insta-kill chances hit, and yes, you can insta-kill the Grinning Beast, then obviously we win this fight no problem. First RNG check is a failure, a pretty convincing one as well. Let's go for the second RNG check, and that is also a failure. Now, the Grinning Beast is going to... Pool cue is also damaged. It's going to grin wickedly. This is the last RNG check. If I pass this, we have a good chance of winning this fight. No, I did not. So, yeah, the plate there needed to stun. If it does not stun, we just lose. So, yeah, I need to pass one of those 3 checks, or at the very least, I need to pass one of the first 2, and then I have good chance of winning if I pass the 3rd. So, this is the strategy I'm going with. If you want to win this fight more consistently, just wait for Dan or Helen or somebody to show up, or wait for the gun trader to show up, kill him, and you can take his gear and win this fight a lot more easily. Okay, I haven't been getting the insta-kill, but I finally got an attempt where the stun actually got through. Now we are just going to throw a Molotov at the Grinning Beast, hope it burns, although I don't think that is strictly necessary. We did get the burn, which is very much appreciated. Grinning Beast is going to bite down once again. Now we can throw our forks at her to deal more piercing damage. And there we go. So yeah, didn't get the insta-kill. On my previous practice playthrough, I did get the insta-kill on the Grinning Beast. Sam is now level 4, and the Grinning Beast retreats, but you ain't getting away from us. Hey, get back here! Alright, Lay, come on. You fight good for a pipsqueak. Wanna hang out? Sure. Yeah, let's hang out. I'm Lay. Oh, hang on. I found this gun earlier. Do you want it? You can have it for $100. Well, unfortunately, we only have $90, so we cannot afford the gun. If I waited around in my apartment a bit, I could find somebody, I could wait for somebody that I could sell some junk to and get enough money for the gun, but I don't really care to have the pistol, so we are just going to say, not interested. Suit yourself. She devours the gun. She doesn't even chew it. It's gone forever. Yes, in order to get the pistol in Cursed mode, not only must you defeat Lay, you must also have $100 to give her in order to purchase it from her. This is actually something that's slightly different from when I first started playing the 2.0 update. When I first started playing it, you could still get the gun if you ran from Lay, it just wouldn't have a clip to go with it. But now you have to defeat Lay to get the gun, and you have to pay her $100. And note that every party member that was originally just a freebie, they joined you unconditionally, like Papano, like Joel, like Lay. I mean, obviously there are steps you have to take to get them, but otherwise, once you've fulfilled those steps, they join you unconditionally. They now have a conditional requirement in order to get them. Some of these can be a little devious, so be mindful of that. With that taken care of, we're going to have Sam drink a beer, we're going to have him eat a muffin and a chalky bar, and there we go. It's actually very important that we drink that beer because it will give Sam a little bit of extra energy and prevent him from becoming tired too early. We are not returning to the apartment to save. Again, our time is precious here, so we need to move quickly. Now, with Lay in tow, we are going to go into Lyle's apartment. It's actually very important that I recruit Lay, because Lay now has a new character-specific side quest. Not something Cursed mode exclusive, just something that you can do with Lay now specifically. We're going to talk to Lyle in a second, because we do definitely want to initiate the photo paper side quest, but for right now, I'm just going to pilfer all his stuff, which, you know, he's just going to be fine with, and once that's taken care of, we will trade our smooch for his photo paper. Now, we actually want to complete the photo paper side quest as soon as possible, as of the 2.0 update, because there is an additional reward for completing the photo paper side quest if you kiss Lyle. And you have to kiss him both times. You have to give him a big, wet, lickery kiss. Make his day. Give him a quick smooch there. And yet another photo to, it's like pressing your face to the coffee maker. Sorry about that. Another photo to commemorate the occasion. Yeah, you're fine. Whatever, Lyle. With that taken care of, we get our photo paper. And again, we want to develop our paper as soon as we get an opportunity to do so. Remember that the earliest we can accomplish that is day 3. Careful, there's a monster in there. Came from the mold in my bedroom. As soon as I can go outside, I'm calling a cleaning service to sort this out. Lyle does have a couple bits of new dialogue. Once again, we want to leave as many enemies alive as possible, so I'm actually going to run from the lockjaw and leave him alive. This is a bit unfortunate that we got caught by him, because he can actually deal some pretty decent damage here. We're going to come back for him later. Again, I just want to leave as many enemies alive as possible. Let's bait him around the table there. There we go. We can escape, no problem. Watch out, the eye thing might still be there. Wandered in from the floor below. Oh, but leave soon. And yes, there is an eye thing waiting for us in here. Note that on Cursed mode, nightmare enemies also spawn a lot more frequently. If you want to avoid them, you can just easily leave the room. That despawns them. Even the most threatening ones, you can quickly get away from them. Once again, leaving the eye thing alive so that we can come back to kill it later. Speaking of things that I want to leave alive, I want to leave these rats alive, but not for the same reason that I was leaving the eye thing or anything else alive. Oh, Rat King. We do not want to get into an encounter with the Rat King. Rat King has not changed much between updates, but of course he does have some Cursed mode buffs that you want to be wary of. Just the greater damage and greater HP on its own is something to be wary of, but he has a little bit extra on top of that. Let's get that stairwell opened up, and let's get Lay equipped with a cleaver here. We're also going to want to save our pool cue for later. I'm going to use weaker weapons with Sam here. I want to use the golf club to make sure that we don't break our blades. Like I said, our blades are very important. I'm having Lay utilize the cleaver just so she can utilize the cleave skill, because we are going to have to fight a few rats. We're going to make our way to the baby room right now. But otherwise, if I can avoid using any blades at this point, I would like to do so. We're also going to head in here real quick and take the Molotov cocktail, get all the junk here, just in case we happen to run into Morton. Very much in our interest to collect as much junk as possible. Hey, Aurelius, get out of the way of the gasoline. Aurelius, you look a little different. Aurelius, you look very different. Yes, every astronomer has gotten a brand new sprite in this version of the game, so they are a bit more visually distinct from each other. Like Aurelius here looks like he's got a throw rug put on. What is the visitor? I don't know. A stellar object that emits some terrible unknown radiation. That's our best guess at the moment. Somehow it warps utterly anyone unfortunate enough to observe it. We have no rational explanation for that. My personal theory is that it's some sort of malfunctioning alien technology. What do the others think? It's either a natural phenomena we don't understand, or an intelligent life form. The observations we collect are intended to attempt communication with it, in case of the latter. Why not kill it instead? Kill it? How? It would be like killing the sun. If this thing is even alive in a way we understand, I doubt we can cause it any actual harm. Fair point, but is it really the worst thing in the world to try? One thing to note is that killing any of the astronomers in this game, as of this update, or even just Jasper, no longer results in you being unable to go to the rooftop. We'll be going over that in due time also. And yes, there are new endings as this update. There's just so much for me to cover. It's gonna be quite an experience. So we're going to talk to Frederick here and get his key. And we are just going to immediately leave him. We don't really need to talk to him at all. I just want to grab some of the items in Frederick's apartment and also burn some time on the clock so that it's late at night. We eventually want to make our way back to the apartment, but once it's early morning and we don't have to worry about sleeping, because the game will try to force us to sleep, or at the very least, kill time with crosswords until the sun rolls in. Just grabbing all of the medication here. We'll leave Tumor Fred to it. You know, he's having a grand old time here. We're also going to talk to Bright Fred and get some healing from him. I will say something about Bright Fred that I didn't really get a chance to cover before. Obviously, he gets a significant boost to the healing that he does if you kill all the other Fredericks, but he also does just get a slight boost to the amount of healing he does for you if you kill a handful of the Fredericks. He gets a very, very significant boost if you kill them all, but he still gets slightly more effective for each Frederick that you kill, so that's worth keeping in mind, since every bit of free healing you can get in Cursed mode is worth considering. It's also worth noting that Bright Frederick's healing goes down depending on the number of party members you have. More party members you have, the less he heals. I'm coming into the painter's studio real quick, just to point out something very noteworthy here. There's a painting. It's too dark to make anything out. Feel it. If you remember, on normal and explorer or survivor and explorer mode, this painting is always wet, and it is always the painting we need to take. But on cursed mode, it's dry. Now, if you were to feel this painting over here and feel it, it feels dry to the touch. What about this one right here? It's wet. Paint stains your fingers. Well, that's the one we need to take, right? Because the correct painting was still wet, right? Not so fast. Your hands are Oh, god damn it! I knew I was going to get the correct one on the first try. Okay, so there are multiple wet paintings in the studio now. There's one. Let me see if I can find one. I knew that was going to happen. Let's feel it. This one feels dry to the touch. Oh my goodness, you got to be kidding me, man. There are multiple wet paintings in the studio now. I already felt this one, I think. What about this one over here? Feels dry to the touch. Come on, are you joking me, man? Okay, it's wet. Like I was saying, there are multiple wet paintings inside the painter's studio now, with various colors of paint. Green paint, black paint, red paint, yellow paint, pink paint, white paint, but the correct one is the blue paint painting. So if you do feel a wet painting, but you don't know specifically where it is, be sure to check the paint as you leave, because otherwise, you're going to be taking the wrong painting to Aurelius. With that taken care of, let's make our way over to the baby room. I'm not going to leave the rats in the baby room alive in this playthrough, just because it's too annoying to really work around them. But also because there is a, of course, fringe benefit to killing them all. If we happen to get rat tails, or just the equipment they drop in general, the rat tail belt, we could really use that equipment right now, so I'm just going to kill everything in here. Note that there are more rats to an encounter, which actually works to our benefit considering we're just cleaving through these encounters, because that gives us more opportunities to get rat tails or equipment. We're also, of course, going to grab everything here. Also, just a niche thing we don't normally get to see. I'm picking up the pen without talking to Rafta beforehand. Find the fountain pen. Sam has no comment because he doesn't know that he needs it for a quest. Let's grab the food in here, let's grab the knife, and let's make our way into the bathroom over here just to grab the toothpaste. Having toothpaste is actually going to be pretty important for the near future. You know, I'm just realizing I made a mistake. I should have cooked some pizza bites when I was at the apartment. Not to eat them, but to leave them for the roaches. I also realized that I actually didn't kill Vincent yet, so that's something to do when we get back to the apartment. But honestly, that also works out to leave as its own task. Once again, we're just going to cleave, and I actually discovered or learned something very important between this video and the last one. You can hold the spacebar on the keyboard in order to speed up the battle text, allowing fights to go a lot faster, so let's just take out this tail rat here. Come on, get closer. Sometimes the enemies just love to jerk you around and not get close, giving you very, very limited chances to hit them, unless you have an adequately long weapon. Hey, a rat tail whip. Not my preferred piece of equipment to get from them, but it's still a free piece of equipment. Now, something to note about treasure items in Cursed mode, their sale price is dropped down. I believe treasure items are half as valuable in Cursed mode. Prices also have had a global 25% increase, so things are more expensive and we are making less money. It's a bit hard to demonstrate because I've also been avoiding most encounters, but most enemies, not all, but most, drop less money. You know what? If I can get away without fighting these guys, I actually will leave them be. Once again, we've got our rat baby here. Yeah, not sure what you expected. We will take it with us. Just save ourselves the wait, nah. So, hey, we will actually be able to talk those guys. Score! I could demonstrate the fight with them, but we'll have a later chance to do that. Once again, we've got our rat baby, Fievel, reacquired. At least he will be Fievel once I get a chance to rename him. With that taken care of, let's make our way over to the rat tail vendor once again. It's also, oh god, actually, get out of here. Ooh. You probably weren't able to see it, but there's actually something pretty notable about those nightmare encounters now when you're at high danger value. Not anything we got to see there. Well, we can see a different dialogue from the rat hole this time. Let's see, oh, never mind. Sure. Very good. You're an open-minded fella. So yeah, you only get the interesting thing if you ask him what he needs them for. I'm going to take a giant rat skull because that is the best helmet we can get right now. If I had more tails, I would totally trade for the rat tail belt, but we don't have enough at that point. In fact, that was all the tails that we did have. As you can see, very good stats on the giant rat skull. With that taken care of, let's get over to the mouth room. Thankfully, we were able to just walk up here, follow the trail, and once again, we are going to offer up our arm, not the rat baby. How could we feed him Fievel? Come on. What kind of cruel person are you? There's a mouth in the wall, and salivating as though it expects to be fed. Feed me a child. Never. So, once again, you do have to attempt to escape, and escape, and escape, and escape, but it's not that easy, of course. So we are going to be sacrificing our arm here. We're going to be sacrificing our left because relying on guns when we literally have no gun that Sam can even use. Why not? Feed me. Eat my arm, please. And once again, we are going to sacrifice our left arm. Again, I keep saying again. Oh man, a self-fulfilling prophecy. But we don't even have a one-handed gun, so if we fed our right arm, Sam would just be practically defenseless. It is worth noting that jump attack can still deal decent damage when you are unarmed, because it factors so heavily your agility. Still, it's so much better when you actually have a weapon to work with. Suppose I could do the Evil Dead Easter egg in order to use a shotgun with Sam, which would at least give him some budding power, but I'd rather not just limit myself, especially because, like I said, DOT's very, very important for us to make use of. Heading down this way, we've got a couple things we need to grab, and I actually want to go pretty slowly because I don't want to blunder into the Rat King. If we get into an encounter with him, that is disastrous. It is important to note that if you reject being spewed with his Ichor, that does not permanently prevent you from getting the Rat King's crown. You can just run away and re-trigger the dialogue to try again. Get the spare key or the small key there. Having small keys is actually going to be pretty important because, well, for one, obviously we can't guarantee the lockpick will show up. It'll be very fortunate if they do show up at Mutt's shop as one of the first things we get. But also, there is a... nope. No, not dealing with that. Let's get back in there. We are, of course, going to grab the odd necklace once again. We weren't able to get Ernest's dialogue here this time because, well, I just didn't feel the need to get him. I don't even have a sandwich to feed him. Oh, you know, that's actually a slight problem I have. I don't have the muffin either, so once we see Shadow, I do need to complete the Shadow quest again. We have to make sure we don't talk to him until I have a sandwich at my disposal. Note that Sam is kind of reeling from sacrificing his arm. Once again, we will bait the Rat Freak and get the Mars disc with no issue. Once we do grab it, we actually need to make a beeline for the ground floor. Once we have Fievel in our pack, he's not technically a party member yet, so if we go to the ground floor with him in the item pack, we can still recruit Papano, which I want to do, so that is the last thing we need to do before we can return to the apartment. Let's see. Heading over this way, there's a couple things I want to check out over here, and once again, gonna go slow just in case the Rat King shows up. We're going to go into Ernest's apartment. We're going to talk to him, not because I actually plan to do anything with him, but it just feels weird to rescue him from rat hell without even touching base with him at all. Who the heck are you? This is my home. You lost? Oh, not at all, Ernest. I just wanted to feel the pleasure of your company. Yeah, I'm kind of weird like that. Or, like, I just don't like doing quests without doing the prereqs, even if the game technically doesn't care, because you don't have to talk to Ernest to rescue him from rat hell. You can just walk right by him, meet, Colonel Squeakums first before you even know who Ernest is. Still rescue him and he will have a life debt to you. Do we see Audrey over here? Nah. I could initiate the Audrey quest. Now something I'm going to do real quick is make a bead left. You might have noticed that the screen quickly loaded there. We've actually found ourselves in a new section of the first floor that is exclusive to Cursed mode. This is a secondary maze within the maze that is the first floor, and there's a couple of unique things that you can actually find here, but they are not things that we want to deal with at this stage of the game, so we are just going to ignore that for the time being, but be very mindful of where you can potentially wander into those triggers for the new section of floor 1, because you may be wandering for a while if you don't notice the quick load transition. With that taken care of, actually, we need to go to the second floor real quick. We're going to be harangued by nightmares all the while, because, we've got, whoa. Okay. We don't have, Eugene is not available to, actually interact with at this point. We need Eugene to open his store. Funnily enough, Clint burst down the door to Joelle's apartment at midnight, but Eugene's store does not open until the next day comes over. We are drowsy and tired, but that only halves our stamina. Since we're not even at full stamina anyways, I don't even really care about that. As I say it, or as I pointed out, we immediately get the next day. So we're going to go to Eugene's shop. $90 should be enough. We do need a little bit of money. I might have to go to Mutt's to sell some stuff, but there's a very specific thing I want to buy from Eugene's shop, so let's make our way in there real quick. Hey, sorry for the clutter. I'm still setting up, so let me know if there's anything you like. And the thing we want to buy is actually Cleaner-X. Let's see, 96. Can I haggle enough off of that? $8, that's just enough. Why do I need the Cleaner-X? So that's actually going to become apparent in a second. Come back again, I get new stuff every day. And he will have stuff, but yeah, like I said, everything that is sold in the game now has a 25% price increase, and we don't even have any money, or we haven't really gotten any money aside from what we got from defeating Lay, so I was just barely able to afford that, and that was after haggling. For the record, you should haggle every opportunity you have with Eugene. Haggling with him, there's actually a bit of a hidden experience system with haggling. The more you haggle, the more times you can haggle in a given day, and the better discounts you'll get. So you want to haggle with him on everything, even cheap stuff like cleavers and baseball bats. You want to haggle those down just to develop your haggling skills. And indeed, you should get the maximum number of haggles possible. We're going to buy some candy here, but one thing to... Ooh, nice, the rare mint candy. One thing to note about the candy machine on Cursed mode is that it actually has less candy to give you. It runs out really fast, and it is entirely possible to not get any rare candies from it. What does the mint candy do for us? Gives us 2 agility. Ooh. Do I want to give that to Sam, or do I want to hang on to that? Because there are a few characters that can make good use of agility. Probably the best idea to give it to Sam right now. Anyways, because we've made it to the ground floor with just Lay in tow, we are able to recruit Pro-bono, and definitely we want to do that because we need every bit of help we can get. Over here, once again, is Marshall, but we're not really going to deal with him. We've seen everything that there is to really see with him, at least as far as shall we say, just speaking to him goes. Once again, Pro-bono is over here. Awful, terrible, but a world. And we will run through all his dialogue. Once again, I don't like skipping around things even if it doesn't matter. We could just ask him for help right away, but now we will. Do you know your way around a mop? I've used a mop. That's good. That's very good. I can't do this alone. I need to appoint you as deputy janitor. I'll need some provisions before we go. My supply lines have been cut, and I'm fresh out of Cleaner X. We'll be going as soon as you can secure 4 Cleaner X, and we just so happen to have 5. Yes, Pro-bono is no longer a freebie if you get here with just 1 party member. He also has this requirement if you get him from the janitor's closet. You need to have 4 Cleaner X on hand. This is actually slightly relaxed from, I think when I first started playing the Cursed mode update, he actually asked for 6, which is actually really difficult to secure at this stage. But thankfully he only needs 4. We get all the Cleaner X we need from Eugene, so just hand over the 4 Cleaner X. Oh, excellent. Welcome to maintenance. Our battle against chaos will eventually end in defeat, but our work remains vital. Our primary task is to retrieve a key to the basement. The landlord, Mr. Henderson, should have a spare. Then, we need to restore the elevator. Its strategic importance cannot be overstated. Pray we find our custodial colleagues along the way. Oh, we'll find them, all right. Not exactly in good condition. I just wonder if there's anything unique with Nestor, if you talk to him without being on the raft side quest. No, just the same old, there's a scary monster in the laundromat. Speaking of scary monster in the laundromat... Oh god, oh god. Right on cue, scary monster. We are going to want to grab everything in here. We're not going to deal with the laundry room worm just yet. We're going to take Jeeps. Oh, whoa, 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 oh god. Oh, that's bad, that's bad. We gotta escape. That's unfortunate. Was not intending to get into an encounter with him. Pro-bono is being constructed, but thankfully that does not deny us the opportunity to escape. Ugh, the acid drool is very powerful. Let's just get away. There we go. Let's grab the t-shirt over here, grab the cloth over here. Cloth is going to be very, very important. There we go. Not exactly how I was hoping that would go, but that was fine enough. That was fine enough. Alrighty, moving on here. One thing to note about Pro-bono on Cursed mode, you'll find that he is actually severely under-equipped this time around, and as it turns out, his arrowed sash and his Mackinaw jacket were doing some pretty serious heavy lifting for him. Fortunately, we still have some alternate equipment pieces that we can give to him. With that taken care of, we're able to finally return to the apartment, so let me do so. As I'm making my way to the apartment, I'm not going to attack Clint. We actually want to leave him alive for as long as possible. We're never going to actually kill him. We're just going to leave him there wandering around. That's actually going to be pretty annoying. And there we go. Let's give Fievel his name back. He is not just a rat. Come on, why must you be so disrespectful, Sam? Of course, we give him the name Fievel. I was pretty tired on my last practice playthrough, and I actually misspelled his name by mistake. I put the L before the E at the end. That was a little embarrassing to me. With that taken care of, we've got quite a bit to do. First off, we want to make some food. Whenever you can, always make combo meals. Let's take the instant noodles and combine with the tomato can, because that gets us way more cooking experience than just cooking individual items, it's a pretty good idea to do so. Unfortunately, we haven't advanced the rat side or the roach side quest at all because I didn't come back to put out any food. Well, my rat compatriot, since I have no say in who comes and who goes from this house, we'll simply have to find a way to live with each other. The baby rat looks up at Papano curiously, cocks his head. You're not sure if that means it understands or if it just finds Papano interesting. To that end, I propose a truce. You will not dirty up the house. I will not interfere with your ratly business. Fievel chatters at Papano and plops down to the ground. The burly janitor cannot hide his sneer. Accept your terms, rodent. It's a deal. I've probably already read that one. Oh, hey, we get another one. Papano holds up a beer bottle and chomps down on the cap, opening it with his teeth. He delicately places the cap in his pocket. The work. It never ends. You doing okay, Papano? The giant takes a swig of beer and wipes the suds from his beard. Sometimes the darkness gets to me. I feel like giving up. But my duty, the duty of all custodial engineers, is to toil for the sake of others. We must uphold civilization when nobody else can. Never forget your duty, deputy. The game tries to trigger more food time cutscenes than it did in previous updates. I'm not brushing my teeth yet. We actually don't want to use any of our toothpaste. Oh, one nice little just quality of life update that I haven't had a chance to draw attention to at this point is that you can actually see your soap and your toothpaste in your inventory now. It's no longer obscured from you, which was pretty silly, let's be honest. Alrighty, with all that taken care of, let me get some equipment situated here. I'm going to save, let me see, that's slash. I'm just going to go with the rolling pin on Sam here, but I'm just going to get my equipment situated, and we're going to head into Joelle's apartment. Actually, you know what? Before we get into the Joelle's apartment, I do want to demonstrate something here. I'm actually going to utilize a little thing you can do with the crossword puzzles. We want to scope out what door visitors we can potentially get. And remember that the door visitor... Oh man, I haven't gotten Uncursed Morton in forever. Hello? Just let me in. No, Uncursed Cursed Morton. Get out of here. But we're just going to use the crosswords here, and we are going to scope out the door encounters. Remember that you always get the same door encounters in the same order, so we want to just use the crosswords to advance it and see if anything good shows up. And not the nurse, I don't really care for her. If we play for another 4 hours, hear a knock at the door. There's actually something else to note about the crossword puzzle there. You know what? I actually am going to do something with that. Look through the eye hole here. Gun trader. Okay, I actually want to keep that in mind. No, get out of here. But let's go look at our clock here. And we know that the gun trader shows up around 1500 hours. So let's keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to... Actually, you know what? Never mind. Let me just advance time a little bit more. I can just say what I was thinking of. Your completing the crossword puzzles does still give you a code. And the code now actually does something. Okay, so we get the food trader at the end of the day. I want to keep that the gun trader shows up at 1500 in mind, but as I was saying, we still get a code for completing the crossword puzzle, and the code actually has a function now. But your code is actually generated when you start your playthrough. So you can actually finish the crossword puzzles and then just load up a save you made before doing the crossword puzzles in order to get the code, and then save it for have the code and then save it for when you actually need it without losing any time. This still works as of this update. I'm not sure if it's something Frankie will patch out. Anyways, we're going to be going through... Joelle's apartment in the usual fashion, but there are some new enemies to note here. First off, we've got, oh, not here. Let me get to the new content here. I'm just gonna cut around. Some of the tooth encounters, this is the one in Ben's room, will have rotten teeth in them, slightly stronger than the toothlings, but not too threatening. I've got Papano rocking the pool cue, so he can deal good damage to these enemies. I do want to make sure that the pool cue doesn't get broken before we get to the fight with Baby Teeth. We don't have to fight her, but it can't hurt to do so for the experience and the jaw club bone. Once again, I'm going to be going through the recruitment with Joelle. We definitely want Joelle, but I do want to keep my save handy for this point in the game, because there is actually something new that can happen with Joelle if you don't recruit him. So we'll definitely want to show that off later. For right now, though, I'm just going to give him Fuzzy and go through the proper procedure in order to recruit him. grabbing the old rifle with one of my simple keys here, since that's a valuable item for the upcoming boss fights. Not going to equip it right now, though. Much like Clint, I want to leave Madison alive. I do not want to kill her. Fortunately, if we do get into an encounter with her, she is very easy to escape with, because she can't even attack to the third turn. Unfortunately, she does like to block the way there, so that can occasionally be a problem. Let me grab this bomb while she's not super aggro. And in the kitchen, we've got a brand new enemy floating around over here. Give me your teeth. Yes, we've got the Tooth Fairy. We're going to take that guy out with our strongest attacking options. We're going to have Lay use an aim shot with the old rifle. We're going to have Papano go for an impale on it. And I'm just having Sam, yes, beautiful pearly whites. Keep up your flossing. Hey, I do my daily flossing. You don't have to just surf over my shoulder on that. There we go. With the combined efforts of those weapons there, we're able to take them out no problem. I'm actually going to just have the rest of them guard here. Have Sam use a jump attack to take out that rotten tooth there. And there we go. Another bit of experience gained. Let's grab 2 toothpaste. It's actually very, very important that we got that toothpaste there. Some child's drawings. We are going to open up the fridge here. There's a bunch of food in the fridge. Grab the items here, and we're just about ready for the baby teeth fight. Keep the vinegar in mind. Vinegar is very important for crafting. And real quick, I'm going to change up Sam's equipment. I'm going to give him... Actually, no, wait. Oh, no, this is just the best thing I have available for us at this point. Okay, never mind. Let's continue on over into here, and we are going to actually fight baby teeth. Again, you don't have to fight baby teeth. It is not a necessary thing to do, but... you know, we may as well. So, let's do the jump attack here. Let's have Lay go for an aimed shot, and let's have Papano go for a couple of impales. He's got enough, what is it? Oh, man. That's very unusual for her to avoid shots. He has enough, stamina in order to do, 2 impales. I actually did not know that aimed shots could miss. I thought they always hit. Maybe that's a problem with the old rifle more specifically. Anyways, we are doing pretty good on baby teeth here. I don't even need to bother with doing what is it? Throwing a Molotov at her. Because she called in some rotten teeth. The scripting's a little messed up. We heard her go into her second form there. That doesn't matter too much in this battle. We defeat her, and we get the Jawbone Club. Now, once again, we're going to be taking Joel, and Joel is going to be very important in this playthrough. He is going to be a full-time party member, because his abilities are tantamount to doing good in the hardest fights in Cursed mode. But, like Papano and like Lay, there is a new condition with him. You live close. Neighbor, okay, I'll go with you. Joel will only join you if you can give him 6 toothpaste. You have 7 toothpaste. Will you give him the toothpaste? Yes! Joel joins your party. You need 6 toothpaste. I remember when the update was first out, he took 8 toothpaste, which, there is actually a time limit to recruit Joel now, so you better have the toothpaste to recruit him. That is why I have not been brushing my teeth. If you did brush your teeth, though, remember that we picked up a Molotov, and there's some toothpaste in the Frozen Over apartment. We can grab some from there, and then buy some from Eugene, and even if you've brushed your teeth a couple times already, you should still have enough to recruit Joel with all that. Anyways, gonna go through the dialogue with Ben. Once again, we complete Ben's playtime, and we get the usual rewards, his teeth pendant, the kill to shoot, and the 5 hard candies in the chalky bar. Actually pretty appreciated on Cursed mode, because we need every bit of healing we can get. Bye, Ben. And with that, we can finally leave here. Now, there is another thing that happens if you complete Ben's playtime properly on not Cursed mode specifically, but just in general. We'll be getting into that later. I do want to point out there's some unique dialogue you can get with Clint if you bring Joel into the battle. I need to bite. Grow the teeth on you. Dad, why are you... He's not your father anymore, Joel. There you are, Joel. Come closer. Closer! You're scaring me, Dad. And we just want to run from him. Again, I want to leave him alive. We have to deal with him clogging up the hallway for a little while. Now, the reason I wanted to wait until we had Joel in the party is because I want to, or rather, the reason I wanted to wait to kill anything is because I want to wait until we had Joel in the party. We're going to have him teeth here. And remember how Joel can devour enemies? We're going to have him devour most everything that we've come across up to this point. just devour the onlooker real quick. Now, it's not super obvious what that did for us, so let's get into another fight real quick. It'll be more obvious. Just take note of how much HP Joel had. We got into this battle quick enough that he still has his teeth from the previous encounter. There we go. Devour the onlooker once again. It's not super obvious, but for every enemy that Joel is devouring, he is getting more HP. Joel has lost teeth. We're going to take care of Vincent here. Whoops, I accidentally beat him down too hard and Joel couldn't eat him. So yeah, that's something that we want to do. It is almost noon. I do need to wander around until something happens, but hold on real quick. Let's return to the apartment. We are going to make a sandwich, specifically an egg salad sandwich. It doesn't really matter what kind of sandwich we make. I just want to make a sandwich in general. And now we need to go find the shadow. So let me do that real quick. Joel is going to get so many devours here, by the way. Ooh, this fight went on long enough that now I can show off something new that can happen. There are new mutations available for the onlookers. First off, they can mutate into gawkers now, but the gawkers can continue to mutate even further into the witness. There is a mutation beyond the witness also. I don't know if devouring the witness gives any additional benefit to Joel. There he is. We want to continue the Shadows questline. The Shadows questline needs to be completed properly for what I want to do, and we want to complete it before we get to the parking garage, or at the very least, around the same time we get to the parking garage. Anyways, you seem okay. I'll just run through this. You've seen it all before. So, I was making a meal and the nurse showed at my door, so we could buy some equipment from her. But, you know what? I'm not feeling in a very merciful mood right now. We're just going to attack her. It is actually very, very helpful to attack door vendors in cursed mode. Oh, there goes the pool cue. Joel is probably going to devour her, actually. Oh, never mind. But it is very, very profitable to attack vendors in cursed mode, because obviously you get good money, you get money from defeating them, experience, but also they have a tendency to drop very good items. The doctor, for instance, or the nurse, always drops a scalpel, a tonic, and a first aid. Very good stuff. Now, this is a dialogue scene we've seen before, Joel approaching Fievel with Fuzzy. Keep this one in mind for later. You know, even though you're near... here's the one where Joel roasts us. For some reason, you feel like you're being judged by this child. Now that Fievel is awake, I also want to play with him. I'm just cutting around a little bit, but there is something specific I want to do while we're in the apartment. After playing enough with Fievel, we get our first words from him, once again saying Sam's name. You can just spam actions with Fievel in order to get him to the point where you can take him out to explore with you, because we do want to take him out to explore with us. After doing all that, he's all tuckered out. So, now that that's taken care of, we want to play a game I haven't played previously in the LP, Wizard Hell, Arcane Tier, and we want to play this to completion, so let's do that right now. Gotta get my reading voice ready. You play a bit of Wizard Hell, Arcane Tiers. You've never heard of this one before. Seems like some kind of management game with wizards in hell? Lay doesn't know this game, but she seems to perk up as she realizes what it's about. You're not doing so well. You build a lot of torture chambers, but don't have enough demonic workforce to man the devices. The demons are on strike. Joel seems to have absolutely no interest in this one. Lay is transfixed on the game. She keeps asking you questions about what you can do in it, but you don't really know much more than her. You don't really get this game yet, so it's not very rewarding to play. Maybe if you keep at it, though. You play for 2 hours. We are going to be playing this to completion right now, like I said, because the skill that it teaches us is incredibly valuable, absurdly so, as particularly for what I'm trying to accomplish. Play a little bit of Wizard's Hell Arcane Tiers. You resume your Wizard's Hell game. Now this game was actually slightly buffed, and you don't have to do as many sessions to complete it as you did when the game first launched. I believe it takes 7 hours altogether to complete it, which is more than acceptable. You're starting to get the hang of it. You build a lake of boiling mud to push wizards in. The demons seem happy about this. You and Lay take turns making modifications to your health setup. You're starting to get the hang of this. You play for 2 hours, and that should be the gun trader. We are absolutely going to kill that guy. As a matter of fact, I need to get a new weapon on the Papano. We can just give him Joyous, because his pool cue broke. That's fine, though. So yeah, remember, you can scope out your door encounters for the day, and then just load your save to not lose any time. That's what we're going to do. Now, it's kind of tempting to actually check out the gun trader's inventory, because he might be selling a combat knife. But you know what's better than buying a combat knife from him? Are you sure you want to attack? You picked the wrong guy, you mook! You could not be more wrong, my friend. Unfortunately, I forgot to reload, Lay's gun. Let's, just, run through the attacks here. Hit him with a brutal smash to stun him. Joel bites down. Okay, I might be able to, I'm going to just queue up our attacks. It's tempting to have Joel try to devour. I probably could have had Joel devour him. There is actually a pretty cool mechanic about Joel. He has an additional attack roll. His attack basically runs its damage check twice, and the second instance of it will apply if it would kill the enemy when it activates. So basically, say he did 20 damage to an enemy and they had 18 HP, or say he did 20 damage to an enemy and they had 25 HP left. He has a second attack check that runs, and if that additional attack check would kill the enemy, which it would since he was dealing 20 damage, it will go and it'll allow him to devour them a little bit ahead of time. But for defeating the gun trader, we get incredible rewards. We get the trench coat, the combat helmet, or the army helmet, and the combat knife. If you remember, the combat knife is one of the best weapons in the game, and is going to be so helpful for Sam staying competitive with the rest of the party members. The trench coat is an incredible piece of armor. We're going to give that to Joel right away. That gives a huge boost to your defense, gives bonus to your attack, to your ballistics, and your bullet defense. Lowers your agility slightly, but that is more than worth it. Army helmet also gives you pretty good defense, attack power, ballistics, and bullet defense. No agility drop on this one. I'll probably want to give these to Lay in the future, but for right now, it would really behoove us to have good defense on Joel. With that taken care of, we can get back to Wizard's Hell. You play a bit of Wizard's Hell, Arcane Tears. You resume your Wizard's Hell game. You've built a pretty large Wizard Hell by now. Your demon researchers unlock more and more devices from the labs. You force some wizards to take part in the research, and then stick them in their own creations. Lay keeps making up horrible new torture ideas for you as you play. They're usually not feasible, but a few of her ideas actually do work out. I don't get it. What did the wizards do? You're having a lot of fun with this game now. Actually getting more experience as we go through it. It's now the evening. Let me check the clock here. We might still be able to do some exploration before we have to sleep, and I actually will sleep at this point, because we don't want to lose any more stamina on Sam. We're making good time here, so we should be able to make it to the parking garage at the desired time. You've built a true torture empire, expanding your Wizard's Hell into new areas and adapting the torture to the Hell biomes. Freezing cold torture for Hell Tundra, eaten alive by bugs in the Hell jungle. Lay seems obsessed with the game. Sounds like she's always thinking about it when you're not playing. You're having a lot of fun with this game now. Getting some pretty good experience for playing it as well. And get a knock at the door. A reminder that Sam is tired. Don't worry, that will be addressed. Oh, you know, I just realized I forgot to advance the plant side quest. Anyway. Killed the food trader. Get some good food from him as well. And a little bit of money. How nice, how nice. Before I forget, let me make those pizza bites and put them out on the table so that the roaches can have them. I did find out that the roach side quest will advance slowly but surely. As long as you leave the roaches in your apartment and don't attack them. It will gradually advance, even without leaving food out for them. But to get it to go as quickly as possible, you want to leave food out. You now have complete dominion over Hell, with all of its lands converted to punish wizards. Other sinners now remain on Earth as undying revenants, for there is only room in Hell for practitioners of magic. Seems like the game's constantly increasing scope is starting to reduce Lay's interest. She still seems excited when you play, but it's not the same anymore. The play sessions are starting to blend together a bit, but it's still fun. All this wizard torching has awakened a latent skill within. You have learned Painful Stab. You wonder if you can take your wizard hell even further. There seems to be no end to the possibilities. How far can you take Wizard Suffering? And you can keep playing Wizard's Hell if you so desire, but Painful Stab is what I wanted out of it, and it's very convenient that we got the combat knife alongside that. Painful Stab is a very, very useful DOT skill. Causes a small but very painful wound. Pain reduces accuracy and subtracts 1/10 of HP every turn. Very, very important to know. Unlike every single other damage over time effect in the game, that is based on the enemy's current HP, not their maximum. It is not like bleed, it's not like burn, it's not even like acid. It is the enemy's current HP. So obviously it's a lot more powerful on enemies that start with a lot of HP. If something has 1000 HP, it's going to be an instant 100 damage to them when their turn rolls around. It also procs per action that the enemy takes, rather than at the start of the turn. So if we get the painful stab off first, that means the enemy is guaranteed to take the DOT damage within the turn. It's also useful for information gathering. If you painful stab an enemy, you can learn their HP indirectly. Remember, it deals 1/10 and it's rounded down, so if I see the enemy tick for 7 pain damage, I just add a 0 to that, and I know they've got somewhere between 70 and 80 HP left. Very, very useful, and very useful for setting up Joel to devour enemies, which we absolutely want to do. I could... Whoa, that was weird. Something must have been messing up in the background of my computer. I could save at Sybil's right there, but real quick, one last thing I would like to do before we finish off this part. Well, actually, let me go in here real quick. Just to demonstrate Painful Stab, well, actually, this might, okay, Painful Stab is a very, very weak move, deals very light damage, so in addition to doing the DOT effect, and there you can see, if you look at Joel's HP, started with 78, now he has 79, he does eventually, the chance to gain HP, or the amount he gains, is relative to the HP of the enemy. If he has high enough max HP, he can potentially not get any, HP from the enemy, though he will eventually get 1 if he devours enough weak enemies. Just want to grab Cinnamon real quick. Hey there, little guy. What's your name? We will take Cinnamon along with us. Yay! I'm gonna take care of you. Now, to move on over to the Gawker in the bathroom, we've been able to defeat this guy pretty easily for a while. I've been forgetting to equip Lay with a new weapon here, but now I think is a good time. We're going to have Lay use the chef's knife so that we can, just do a deep cut on him. We are going to wait for him to get close. We're going to have Joel do teething here. And I want to take this fight relatively slowly because, unlike normal mode, the Gawker can mutate further on cursed mode. And we want to see his mutations because, well, we're not really going to get a chance to check them out otherwise. We'll do the quick jab there, get some bleed on him. Now that we have... Oh, never mind. Ah, damn. I'll have to save that for the next part then. But yes, the Gawker can mutate further. Okay, never mind. I'll save in a separate slot and we can come back for that guy, I guess. Maybe I should have saved before I headed out to fight him. Oh well, I didn't think he would die that quickly. I think this is a good spot to end the video. We've made very, very good progress. So, what's new? Anything interesting that's happened since we last spoke? A ton of things, Sybil. A ton of things. Now, let's save our game. And when we come back, it will be time again to continue Cursed Mode. And believe me, we've got a lot of tough things coming up in the next video, so be prepared for some serious encounters. Alright. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, though, goodbye. Moon Sammy walks across the floor. Below the floor, there is a wall. Behind the wall, there is a chair. Moon Sammy knows the chair is there. There's a door here. You can barely make it out in the dark. It won't open. There are 5 dark stains on the door. There was never a door here.
I don't dispute the doubts you've outlined, no. But it's my right to waste your time.